Scott Edition with Deborah Norville.
That portal to hell house that we've been telling you about in Gary, Indiana, where so many eerie things are said to have happened, has just been sold. And wait till you see who's moving in.
The new owner is Zach Baggins.
Welcome back to Paranormal Papa Podcast, episode 30, coming to you from Ferocious Feline Studios in Cassopolis, Michigan. Hey kids, it's Papa with Paranormal Papa Investigations and Paranormal Papa Podcast. You know, I was going through, rearranging the studio, looking over the gifts that we've received, not just for this channel, but for the other channel, the History Channel, Living Histories Mysteries. And even our very first channel, Living History Comes Alive. And I ran across a piece that I had set away for safety reasons. And it got me thinking about the history and the mystery of where that little piece came from. Now, of course, I've hinted around about it before, but I've never really gone into a lot of detail. But at the end of this release, in our closing, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to share it with you guys, because that little piece comes from one of the most haunted locations in the Great Lakes, in the Midwest, and maybe in the whole world.
I saw the face of a goat man exhaling black smoke into my mouth. The story was huge. It was the next Amityville. A story about a demon possession in Gary, Indiana makes international news.
Look at one of the most documented cases of demon possession and exorcism in recent history.
Even though the house is gone, a police officer told me that people keep showing up and doing satanic rituals on the empty lot.
They say some houses are just wrong. Not because of how they look or where they're built, but because of what lives inside them. Back in November of 2011, a woman named Latoya Ammons moved into a small gray rental house on Carolina Street in Gary, Indiana. She brought her 3 kids and her mother with her. They were hoping for a new start, but right from the beginning, the house didn't feel right. Latoya said the air felt heavy, like something was pressing down on them. Her mom thought the house was just old, but the kids, they were quiet, almost like they could feel something watching them. Then came the flies. This was winter, freezing cold, snow on the ground, no reason at all for insects to be out. But every morning, the porch would be covered in big black flies. They'd swat them, clean them, spray bug killer. And still, the flies kept coming back. That's when the weird noises started. Footsteps in the hallway. Thuds in the attic. Cabinets slamming in the middle of the night. At first, LaToya thought maybe it was just pipes or the wind. But when she started seeing dark shadows moving through the house, fast, like someone walking across the room, she knew something was wrong. One day, while folding laundry, she saw a tall black figure standing in the living room. It didn't move. It didn't speak. It just stood there and vanished. Then her youngest son started acting strange. He would sit in the closet, having full conversations, with no one there. When she asked who he was talking to, he said, "The Shadow Man. He lives in the basement." LaToya and her mom went down there with flashlights. The basement smelled weird, moldy, sour, like rotting meat. They found a small patch of dirt in the corner, like someone had dug up the concrete. In that dirt, they found a rosary, a crucifix, and a child's shoe. After that night, LaToya started having nightmares. Something sitting on her chest, whispering in her ear, telling her it would never leave. And then, it started going after the kids. Her daughter began waking up screaming. She'd cry and shake, saying, "The man with red eyes is in my room." One night, during a sleepover, something terrifying happened. Her daughter floated, off the bed, stiff as a board. Her cousin screamed. When she came back down, she didn't remember a thing. The kids changed after that. They stopped eating, stopped laughing. They would stare off into corners and whisper things no one could understand. Her 7-year-old son started drawing strange pictures. People hanging from the ceiling, black shapes standing over beds. Then the voices started. The kids would speak in deep growling voices that didn't sound like them. They'd say things like, "He's already inside," or "We belong to him now." One night, LaToya heard screaming from the bathroom. She ran in and found her son curled up in the tub, water running black. Not dirty, black. He kept saying over and over, "He came out of the drain. He came out of the drain." Her daughter's school called. She was threatening teachers, telling them she'd tear their skin off. One teacher said her eyes turned completely black. But the worst moment came when LaToya walked downstairs one night and saw all 3 kids sitting on the basement floor, in the dirt, eyes closed, chanting, "Welcome him, welcome him." She splashed holy water on them. They screamed and twisted and fell over. And afterward, they didn't remember a thing. That's when she begged for help. She reached out to churches, pastors, psychics, anyone who would listen. 2 clairvoyants came to the house. After walking through the place, they told her something terrifying. There weren't just ghosts in the house. There were over 200 demons. They said something ancient lived there, something that wanted her children. LaToya made a small altar in the basement, candles, a Bible, and a cross. She prayed, burned sage, read the Bible out loud, but nothing helped. She finally called child services, hoping someone would believe her. They sent a caseworker and a nurse to visit the kids. During one of the meetings, something happened that was so strange. It ended up in an official government report. One of LaToya's sons stood up, smiled, and walked backwards up the wall. He kept going, all the way up, until he was on the ceiling. Then he flipped over and landed on the floor. The nurse ran out screaming. The caseworker fainted. Both of them said the same thing. This was real. We saw it with our own eyes. LaToya was sent to a Catholic priest named Father Michael Maginot. He agreed to visit the house. when Father Michael Maginot first stepped inside the Ammon's house. He didn't need to hear a single story. He felt it. He said the air inside that home was oppressive, like being underwater. Every breath was harder than the last. He could feel something watching him, and whatever it was, did not want him there. He sat with LaToya and listened to everything. The footsteps, the shadows, the voices, the boy walking on the ceiling, the dreams, the basement, the voices. He believed her. Unlike others who shrugged it off, Father Maginot didn't think she was crazy. He believed it was a full-blown demonic possession, not just of the house, but of LaToya herself. He got permission from the Catholic diocese to perform an exorcism, not just a blessing, not just holy water, a real documented ritual exorcism. What followed was hell. The first time they did it in the church, LaToya sat in a chair, silent at first, but as Father Maginot began to pray in Latin, her body began to tremble. She clenched her fists. Her breathing grew heavy. Then she growled. It wasn't a scream. It was a deep, gravelly sound, not human. And her voice changed. She belongs to us, it said. She let us in. She prayed to us. She twisted in the chair, eyes rolled back, drool spilling from her mouth. Her legs kicked. She tried to bite the priest, but he didn't stop. He pressed the cross to her forehead, sprinkled holy water, and shouted the rite louder. Finally, she collapsed, eyes shut, breathing shallow. She didn't remember anything. The second exorcism was worse. This time she screamed so loud the church doors rattled. She cursed in languages no one understood. Maybe Latin, maybe something older. She laughed, mocked the priest, said his prayers were pathetic. During the ritual, blood came from her nose. Her hands cramped and twisted like claws. She spat at the Bible, said her children were promised to the man in the pit. Her mother, Rosa, broke down crying in the back pew. The room felt colder and colder, even though it was summer. A smell filled the church, sulfur, rot, like burnt hair and death. Then LaToya screamed one last time and fainted. The priest thought it was over, but it wasn't. The third and final exorcism happened back inside the house, right where it all began. This one was in Latin only. A full ritual with incense, holy water, crucifixes, candles, and scripture. LaToya was strapped down. Not to hurt her, but to protect herself. When Father Maginot began the rite, the house shook. Literally. The walls vibrated, the candles flickered, and LaToya began to convulse. She vomited. Not food. A thick black sludge that smelled like sewage. She screamed names that no one recognized. She laughed like a child. She begged for help, then cursed the priest in the next breath. Her eyes opened wide, and for a moment, everyone in the room said her eyes turned pitch black. Not dark, black, like two empty holes. Father Maginot didn't stop. He yelled louder, commanded the demons to leave in the name of Jesus Christ. He poured holy water on her head. Her skin steamed where it touched. And then, silence. Her body stopped shaking. Her eyes closed. She breathed softly, and it was over. After that, the house felt quiet. Too quiet. The kids stopped seeing shadows. The footsteps stopped. The air felt lighter. They packed their bags and left that house behind. They never went back. But even years later, LaToya said she sometimes feels it watching. From the shadows. Just waiting. A few years later, in 2014, a paranormal investigator named Zach Bagans bought the house. He wanted to film a documentary. He moved in, alone. He said he felt watched constantly, that his crew was attacked. One cameraman became violent for no reason. Another refused to ever come back inside. After a few weeks, Zach said he couldn't take it anymore. He demolished the house, tore it to the ground. He said it wasn't just haunted. It was a gateway to something dark. Something not meant for our world. Today the house is gone. But people say if you walk past the empty lot, you can still hear children crying. Sometimes, they say, you can see a shadow figure standing in the grass, even though there's nothing there. The house is gone, but whatever lived inside is still looking. And if you're not careful, it just might find you next.
This next section of the video release is kind of tied in with the little treasure I'm going to share with you guys at the very end. After the house was torn down in January of 2016, paranormal investigator Mickey York requested a piece of the property, and he was going through his own experimentation of the artifact. And you know, I was going to put his data through my own word recognition system to see if I could pick up anything that he might have missed. But I'm going to let you guys put on your headphones and listen to his devices and see if you can make out anything that Mickey might have missed. I know I found some stuff, but I'm going to stay out of it. I'm going to let you guys tell me what you heard.
What happened to the boy? What did he do? Is this soil haunted by a demon?
That this was a portal to hell.
The soil sample, the foundations, the ground of the demon house. My throat feels very weird now. What's this in my hand? So yes guys, welcome to another video. Today I am going to be investigating this little vial of soil. Yes, now this soil in particular has come all the way from Gary, Indiana, the demon house. Yes, Zach Bagans' demon house.
A story about a demon possession in Gary, Indiana makes international news.
You know, look at one of the most documented cases of demon possession and exorcism in recent history.
Yes, so a bit like the Amityville Horror House video that I have just recently uploaded, we're going to try and get some information, try and see if there's any attachment. Now this soil was dug up after the house was demolished by Zach.
I wanted to make sure the house never harmed anyone else again, even though the house is gone. A police officer told me that people keep showing up and doing satanic rituals on the empty lot.
So this soil comes from the ground, from the site. So you can destroy the house, but do you really destroy the attachment, the spirit, the ghost? We're going to find out. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be paranormal. I'm going to be using a couple of apps. I'll be using my spirit box I have a K2 that will light up if any electromagnetic energy is discovered. We're just here to find out, to see if anything happens. Nothing may happen at all.
And this is the case that really fucked me up.
So obviously this is an interest of mine, trying to collect various potentially haunted items from locations around the world. So today is another one. Let's get on it.
Inside Edition with Deborah Norville.
That portal to hell house that we've been telling you about in Gary, Indiana, where so many eerie things are said to have happened, has just been sold. And wait till you see who's moving in.
The new owner is Zak Bagans.
So first of all, we're going to try some EMF, just to see a basic reading. As you can see, it's 0. This is a sound-activated K2 meter. So any electromagnetic energy that is picked up, it will light up, make a sound. So again, I'm not saying this is paranormal, just leaving it here to use to see if anything does happen. Here's a spirit box I'll be using, the PSP7 Pro. So like the Amityville video, we are going to start off with the necrometer. So basically I am asking if there's any attachment, any energy, anything that is left from the house in America, in Gary, Indiana. The soil sample, the foundations, the ground of the demon house that Zak Bagans from Ghost Adventures used to own. Potentially, does he still own the house? Will he still own the land? Has he sold the land? Because he said that he destroyed the house so that nobody else could be affected if they managed to get into the house.
It's time for the house to go away.
This was a portal to hell.
I was told not to even go in the house.
But surely, if it's not only bricks and walls, it's going to be the land. So potentially the land is haunted, has an attachment, has spirits. So somebody could buy the land and then rebuild on the land and potentially have activity. What do you reckon? Let me know in the comments. Could you tell me anything about the house? What happened? What happened to the family that were there before Zak owned it?
This whole story started in 2011 when the Ammons family moved into that old rental house in Gary, Indiana. They started hearing footsteps going up and down their basement stairs, saw shadowy figures in the living room, and flies swarmed their screened-in porch in the dead of winter. A local Catholic church told them their house was haunted by spirits, and a couple clairvoyants claimed that the house was home to 200 demons. Was the whole thing a hoax? Then it started affecting their young children more. They started having dark conversations about death with people who weren't there. A family doctor wrote it off as delusions. Then on April 27th, 2012, everything blew up.
What was some of the names of the children, of the mother? Could you tell me that? Is that possible? We also have holy water and the lovely Jesus on the cross from my vampire kit. I'm not going to lie to you, I'll put it down here for effect because it looks good. Okay, so I'm after some words related to the house. Do you remember affecting Zak's vision?
Oh my God, my eyes. Ow. Ow. Fuck. Fuck.
energy. Now obviously certain stones can hold energy, like limestone, etc. Other rocks, formations, they can hold spiritual energy. Can soil? Who knows? But that's what I'm here today. That's what I'm going to find out. I thought it'd be something you're interested in. I'm very interested in it, and I'll be doing more of these videos because I have more haunted objects on the way. Yes, something from Bobby Mackey's. So that'll be another video in the future. Here we go then. So we have nighttime and malevolent. Interesting. Now that is the first word that could potentially be associated with the haunting, the possession, the demon of the house from the soil. Okay, we're going to move on now to the spirit box to see if we can get anything else coming through. Thank you.
A short time after returning home, Dr. Taft's organs begin to shut down one by one.
My body shutting down is the result of being in the demon house just for several hours. That's long-term effects. I was only there a few hours. If I'd stayed there overnight, given what's going on with me now, I'd probably be dead by now.
We are going to have it in reverse sweep. We are going to have it 110 milliseconds on FM. So set it up over here. So after some words that are relatable to this item here. The house, the demon house. I want names of people who live there, please. Who live there? Any names? Or what happened? What happened to the boy that lived there? What happened to the boy? What did he do?
He walked up the wall backwards.
Why was there lots of bad things happening to the family? What was the name of the family that lived there? The surname? The first names? Haunted? Right. What happened at the Ammons family house? Yes, house. Was there evil there? What's this in my hand? What is this? just say mud? Yes, it is mud. Is there anything attached to this soil sample from the house? I need some information. I need information. Oh my god. Oh, it feels like my throat. My throat feels very weird now. Is this somehow affecting me? Whatever this stuff is. Is that right? Oh my god, sorry. Oh, I'm just gonna leave that there for a minute. I'm gonna go get a drink. Oh my god. Oh, sorry. Sorry guys, do apologise, I feel better now. Had a nice glass of water. It's weird how sometimes you start interacting with objects, with items, with certain spirits, and they sort of affect you. Now I'm not saying this soil had an effect on my throat, but it's quite a common thing, so you know, just bear it in mind. It's probably not paranormal. What was affecting my throat just now, please? Who was that? What was that? Should I not be trying to make help any communication with whatever is possibly attached to this? Does this have energy? I'm here. The energy from the demon house, can it be transferred into soil? Does this soil contain energy from the demon house? Can it hold positive or negative energy? So guys, I'm going to end this here. I'm going to end this communication. Thank you very much. I'm going to stop this. What do you think? Let me know. Is there anything that you've seen today that makes you think that objects can hold energy? I believe possibly it did in the Amityville video. This one, I've not seen all the footage back yet, so I don't know whether we got any relevant words, any sort of indication of any sort of energy or attachment. So you probably know before me when you're watching this. I know what I'm saying. Thank you so much for watching.
Welcome back to the studio. I hope you guys enjoyed this little look at Gary, Indiana's demon house. I don't know if after Zach had the house tore down in January of 2016, if he ever sold the property or if he still owns it. But I tend to want to think from my own experience. You guys know I'm not the one to scream, demon, 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 at first whim. It takes a lot to make me want to think that a haunting or an experience that a person is having could be otherworldly. I tend to want to think in a situation like that, especially with the demon house, that the house and the land carried something dark. Because I'm here to tell you from my own experience that once the house was tore down, something still remains. I've showed you guys this box before. It's a simple antique box with copper plates on top of it. Nothing special, just old. But what's inside? This little container contains dirt from the footprint of the demon house. This was given to me August, so 7 months after the house had been demolished. What was stated in the video is true. People still go out there. They do not really ceremonies. Let's just say people go out there and they do things. Now, the reason that I know that it's not just the house is because of this. I won't touch the box or the container. It has got something about it that I just don't like. But you guys know I am all about collecting those haunted items, about keeping them safe away. If you have any haunted items or things that make you feel uneasy, get a hold of me right down here, Midwest Parahistoric Society at gmail.com. Send me an email, let's talk about it, and if it's something we can't figure out, then I will get you a physical address where it can be mailed to. Is the property haunted by 200 demons? I doubt it. I doubt it. But don't forget, we're talking about Gary, Indiana. Evil breeds evil. Per capita, Gary is the most violent city almost in the country. It's definitely in the top 5. Darkness breeds darkness. And frankly, I've only been to Gary, Indiana 3 times in my life. And 3 times in my life, it took me half as long to get out of town as it did to get in. There are good parts. This wasn't one of them. But that's all we got for you this week. Hope you guys enjoyed this look into the history, frightening history, of Gary, Indiana's Demon House. Until next week, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. God bless you, God love you, we do. And happy hunting.
Coming May 30th, 2026 to Nashville, Michigan. It's Ghost-orama Nashville. Coming to you from the Foxview Event Center in Nashville, located at 975 Main Street. We will have spooky vendors, food vendors, activities for the little hunters in our lives. This is a look at para-unity at its best. Skeptics, believers, non-believers, debunkers, the general public. It is a deep dive into the supernatural and the paranormal. We will have 3 public speaking engagements at noon, 1 and 2. Vendor spaces are limited indoors at $35 and outdoors unlimited at $25. The show will be followed by an after-hours ghost hunt at one of Nashville's top hunting locations. The price for the after-hours ghost hunt is $30 for the first person in your team and $20 for each additional team member. Come and join us May 30th, 2026 for Ghost-orama. Or always wonder what truly hides in the dark. Ghost-orama is sponsored by Southern Michigan Paranormal's Frankenfest, Paranormal Papa Investigations, Jesse Joan of Arc, and the Midwest Parahistoric Society.